My name is Rita H. I'm one of the artists that belongs to a group called SVA, or Sheboygan Visual Artists. I really enjoy working with those artists and enjoy oil painting. That's the thing I love the most. I have a studio, though, that's divided in half for oil painting, and my studio also has half of it devoted to glass art. I do custom stained glass windows for people. But I've loved painting for most of my life. I started painting already at the University of Redlands in California when I was in 6th grade. That was a long time ago, and have stayed with it on and off for all of those years. It's only been about 3 years now that I've had my very own professional studio, and that's been such a joy to me to have a dedicated space and a place for clients to come that I love being in. I live on Lake Michigan, so you'll probably notice that a lot of my paintings will have water in them of the lake and sky. I like watching the clouds and the sunrises and often put those subjects into my work. I started doing another thing about 2 years ago with hiding things in my paintings. It makes them kind of fun to look at. Some specific paintings I'll even say, you might want to look at my painting in different lighting conditions because there are some angels in the clouds, and that always brings joy to me when people bring themselves into my artwork and find things on their own that mean something to them. I also call myself a Dutch artist because of a wonderful grant I got from the National Foundation of the Arts a year and a half ago, and I got to study Dutch folk art from an excellent teacher from the Netherlands. That's called Hindelopen, and maybe someday I'll do a show where you can see that very different painting technique. I started my formal education in California. I grew up in Los Angeles and graduated eventually from Long Beach State University in Long Beach, California. That was where I studied art, but at that point I was more interested in jewelry. Actually, this is a piece that I did during those days. And foundry work, bronze castings specifically, were my joy at that time. Still did oil painting on the side, though. When I oil paint, I've been experimenting, besides hidden images, into things of different techniques, perhaps using more impasto technique. This is a painting that I'm showing you that has a lot of love in it. It's called Kitty Sunflowers, and a very special friend of mine one day came to the lake, to my studio, to paint together, she also being an artist. And she picked these flowers from the roadside coming to my home and studio, and also purchased a few sunflowers. We kind of had a race that day to see if we could do a painting and kind of let go and do it within a couple 2 or 3 hour time limit, which is not normally how I do my oil paintings. They can take hours and even months sometimes to complete. So this has more impromptu to it. A lot of people don't like oil painting because of that slowness part of it for certain techniques. I like it because it gives me time to make changes and to do blendings. Almost all of the oil paintings that I do have at least 7 layers of paint on them. When I do the retouch Daymar to make them archival, that spray is misted 7 times for each painting. So it doesn't happen quickly. Behind me on the wall, you can see another type of painting that I do that's done more with a palette knife, and the paint is almost dimensional in the way that it's built up. And that painting took me more than a year to do because it's thick and every layer underneath needs to dry first before the next layer goes on top, or otherwise the oil paint on the top as it dries will crack. So just a different technique that you might enjoy looking at. If you're interested in seeing more of examples of my work, I do have some more examples on the Sheboygan Visual Artist website. You could go to that. I also am on Facebook with a complete portfolio of paintings and glassworks. And you could see my work at Curative Therapies in Sheboygan or the Crack Shoe Coffee House in Cedar Grove. My studio is also open to the public, but you need to make an appointment with me first in order to come by. So give me a call. I'd be glad to show you where I work and some paintings you might be interested in commissioning. Thank you.